I think I just need to pull this curtain. So what I'm encouraging this session is really some really a continuation of what we were looking at last week. I brought the same objects in, so if anybody wants to use any of my objects, you're welcome to. And it's great to see you've got different things of your own that you brought in. Thank you. This is great. I was thinking something that we can do in one session, piece of work. So it could be a drawing, could be a painting. The idea is to just sort of do maybe one thing each week for a couple of weeks, just to get into the flow of things. This is one of the books I've got that I had, a long time ago, and I sometimes use this as examples. So this would be an example of really painting just using black and white. So it could be painting or it could be drawing. So my sort of demo is more a drawing than a painting. This was a little still life had to go out yesterday just using an acrylic. Again, I'm trying to do the same sort of thing myself, do some sort of piece of work each day. Sometimes I've got a bit more time than other days, so sometimes it might be a quick sketch, sometimes it might be a quick painting. But it's quite nice because it really forced me to really look very closely at the tonal values, because I couldn't get away with just making the tomatoes red or just using that to give away the idea. So that's the sort of theme this week is really light and dark, using light and dark with whatever medium you'd like to use. I'll use this sketch that I started actually earlier in the week, and I'm using pastels here, but just using the shades of grey. If you wanted to use another colour, that would be fine, but just use light and dark of one colour, and not worry about trying to get local colours like that. So with this one, basically just using the pastel, I've got these stick pastels, which are looking quite nicely. Put that in there. And one thing that's quite useful if you're working from life is to just squint at the subject, and that's a good way of reducing the details. It just really forces you to look at the areas of light and dark. And when I do that, some of this, like this edge here, seems quite dark. So we just got to go in a little bit darker here. And then probably need to lighten that up a little bit. If anybody wants to have a go at these pastels, you're very welcome to. Go there, and then I've got these paper blenders are quite useful for blending little areas and getting into little detailed shapes. So that can be quite good for that. This section on the front here, there's a little bit of light. So let's get that a little bit darker there. A little bit darker either side. I probably would need to just use the rubber and lift some of that out. Get that a bit lighter there. The other thing I can use is I've got some of these pastel pencils, again just using grey, shades of grey. And they're quite good for slightly more intricate shapes. Shadow there, a bit of shadow on that side, go a little bit darker there. And a bit lighter. And then just make that a little bit darker there. I think the angle's wrong, this wants to be slightly flat, slightly shallower. About the right tone for that area. Yeah, is that enough to get it going? So the idea is just a light and dark drawing, or painting if you want to make it a painting. But don't go too complicated too quickly. Find something that you can hopefully complete within the session. If you didn't want to work from objects, you could do a little you know, if you wanted to do like a little landscape or something from a photograph, that's absolutely fine. But again, if you wanted, maybe try and keep it fairly simple. Is that okay? Any questions? Yep.
I like your acrylic painting a lot, and it looks like oil. I wonder why did you use acrylic? Is it so it dries well?
So it dries quicker, but I just wanted to try and practice acrylics because I don't use acrylics much.
Yeah, it looked like oil. I thought it was oil.
Yeah, it does really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just trying, this month I want to try out mediums that I don't normally use.
Did you use fancy acrylics or just no?
Sorry?
Did you use like fancy acrylics?
Not particularly. Some. No, I think they're just ordinary. Yeah, ordinary student quality ones. So there might be. I've got quite a few different ones, so I can't remember exactly which ones they
It's
were.
really nice. It's really interesting actually seeing black and white.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good exercise. Right. So,